Reflets d'Afrique Télévision, le Flash Info, The Breaking News.
President Idriss Déby Itno is no more. According to confirmation from the National Army of Chad, read on national radio, the newly re-elected President Idriss Déby has died of wounds he received while commanding his army in battles against rebels in the north of the country. Idriss Déby Itno, who has ruled Chad for 30 years, was re-elected for a seat term with 79.32% of the vote, according to official results released Monday, April 19th, shortly after the army said it had defeated a rebellion launch on election day, April 11, and killed more than 300 enemies. The turnout was 64.81% for the election, which the outgoing head of state won unsurprisingly in the first round, said the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, the Sani, Kodi Muhammad Bam, in releasing the official provisional figures. The Supreme Court still has to approve them after considering possible appeals. Déby's former and last Prime Minister Albert Pahimi Padake came second with 10.32% of the vote cast. The first woman to run in a presidential election, Lydie Biesendam, came third with 3.16% of the vote. 9 candidates were officially running against Mr. Déby, but 3 had announced their withdrawal and called for a boycott of the election, citing the violent repression of all the peaceful marches organized in recent months to demand change of power. The Supreme Court, however, kept their names on the ballot. The funeral of Christian Cardinal Tumi began on Monday, April 19, 2021 in the economic capital Douala. For 2 days, the entire Christian community gathered to pay homage and accompany the former Metropolitan Archbishop to his final abode for eternity. Douala is in mourning for Christian Cardinal Tumi. Sadness, emotion and dismay are seen on the faces. The Prince of the Catholic Church is going to join his father this Tuesday, April 20, 2021. The funeral began in the economic capital after the body of His Eminence was lifted from the hospital mortuary under pouring rain, symbolizing purification in the presence of the bishops of Cameroon, the governor of the littoral region, Samuel Dieudonné Ibaha Diboa, and some members of the government like the Minister of Employment and Vocational Training, Issa Chiruma Bakari. The remains were brought back to St. Peter and Paul Cathedral in Bonadibong, where prayers and praise were ongoing. For the past 30 years, the Son of Man has served in the parish as Metropolitan Archbishop of Douala and as Archbishop Emeritus. According to the funeral schedule, 6 masses were scheduled and were celebrated by the bishops of the various ecclesiastical provinces of Cameroon to pay a last tribute to the one who was the very first cardinal of the Central African sub-region. It should also be noted that many delegations from all over Cameroon and around the world, including the Vatican, traveled to Douala to attend the funeral. Mali's Supreme Court on Monday confirmed that the charges against several personalities, including the former Prime Minister and a star radio host accused since December of 2020 of preparing a coup d'etat with mysterious outlines, had been dropped. The court has deliberated. It has rejected the appeal of the public prosecutor lodged against a decision to drop the proceedings taken in March by the Bamako Court of Appeal. Sheikh Oumar Konare, the lawyer for 2 of the defendants, told the press. The 5 detained personalities, including the activist and radio host Mohamed Yusuf Batli, known as Rasbag, were released on Monday afternoon after nearly 4 months in detention. In addition to Rasbag, the detainees were Vital Robert Diop, General Manager of the Paris Mouchouel Aubaine, the PMU, an organization that bets on horses, race, and games of chance. Agui Tol, a manager of an agency working on access to telecommunications and half-brother of former Prime Minister Boubou Sizi, and 2 senior executives of the Treasury State Finance, Mohamedou Kone and Suleiman Kansaye. The 6th person of concern in the case was Boubou Sizi, the last head of Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta's government before he was overthrown by the military in August of 2020. By virtue of his rank, he appeared in the case as a possible instigator of this alleged new coup. South Sudan has joined Malawi to be among the only African countries to destroy thousands of expired COVID-19 vaccines. Juba is considering disposing of over 60,000 doses of Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine that expired before they could be used, an official from the Health Ministry said on Monday. According to Richard Lacko, COVID-19 crisis manager at the Health Ministry, when the doses arrived, we realized that the lifespan left for the vaccine was only 14 days. He said that the drugs had since expired and were already locked somewhere to be dealt with as soon as possible. Mr. Lacko said the Ministry and the Medicines Authority were developing a plan to dispose of them, including returning them to the African Union. At the end of March, South Sudan, one of the world's 5 least developed countries according to the Human Development Index, the HDI, received 132,000 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine through the COVAX program, which aims to ensure equitable access to vaccine against the COVID-19, especially among the poorer countries.
Reflets d'Afrique Télévision, le Flash Info, the Breaking News.